talk working, and we're going to move on to the next section of the user manual for Complex-1. We're going to mess around with the filter module. So the filter module holds a resonant multi-mode 24 decibels per octave low-pass filter and 12 decibels per octave high-pass filter with a built-in overdrive distortion preamp. The filter also features a modulation input for filter frequency modulation. Okay, here is where you route audio input. What? Here is where you route the audio input signal to the filter. Oh, it's just that one. So I mean, let's get started. Here's our basic patch. Let's just bang in something really simple, by way of a like a note. It's nice and warm today, so the window's open. So if you can hear birds, then lucky you, I guess. Let's stick something in. Let's load up something that is tips and tricks. That might be fun to mess with later. Melodies. Let's try that. Yeah, okay, that'll do. theory, what I'm doing here is we've got the filter frequency getting driven off the ADSR. So every time the note comes on, it's like filter opens, but also we're getting the filter frequency to track the key pitch, which means that to a certain extent, depending on how much I give it on this knob here, that'll move the starting frequencies, so you get a more consistent sound depending on the note that's played, rather than it being the sort of the same filter no matter where you're playing on the keyboard. Let's keep going. Should read it. So what do we got? We got drive. I wonder what positions. It doesn't really explain what do positions below 50% do. I mean, I don't know what I expected. It reduces the amplitude. So this is what I was talking about before. So we've got 2 cutoff frequencies, which is nice. At maximum frequency, the filter will self-resonate. I mean, let's try it. I mean, we're not trying to make lasers, but it's pretty awesome. So we've still got this frequency modulation, so good thing we have mute on a key. Oh boy, excuse me. Right, so here's this thing again. It's linear frequency modulation versus this, which would be is it logarithmic or exponential? Because like every octave the frequency doubles, so if you modify this frequency just the same as you would modify the pitch setting here versus the FM setting there, and I think there's a few other places that takes effect, you get a linear versus a exponential or logarithmic effect depending on which way you look at it. So I guess we'll plug something into it and see what it sounds like. Adds a little something to it. There's like a little warble effect in there, just a little hint of it. See, that sounds fairly boring compared to this. construction noise going on outside, so it's very difficult to hear whether the reverb is having much, if any, effect. It's sort of below the threshold of hearing. The threshold of hearing with all of the nonsense going in the background. You might be able to hear it in the microphone, but I mean, look, it's a filter section. It does more or less what you would expect. So I might not really mess with it too much more. I might throw some effects on this just to make it sound a bit more excellent. But we'll see how we go. I kind of don't want to move on to the saturator module. I think I want to save that for next time because I kind of want to do a short stream today. So that's a nifty trick. I've made the mix dependent on what keys, so there's a subtle difference between like the low end and the high end of the keyboard. shouldn't be trying to stereo spread it because it's a very bassy sound, and I don't think I can be bothered sticking a stereo thingy on it. What do you call that thing? It's a stereo imager and compressing, no, not compressing, but monofying the low end. Can't be bothered. On a much lower frequency oscillator. Is there any way to do that on this thing? Yeah. No, I don't want to set up the step sequencer, so oh well. I mean, I could set up an external oscillator and CV it in. You know what I could do? I could run this off the mod wheel. Here we go. What am I thinking? There's a oscillator 3. I keep forgetting about oscillator 3. Although I think I'm really reaching the end of messing with this. Whoops, I hit a key and it stopped. Sequencer and run. I feel like because we're clipping, I've set the level too high. Oh, that low end. That's bassy. I feel like if we're going to use this thing, we need to stick maximizer or compressor. Maximize it. Why not? The lazy man's fix for this problem. Actually, there's an alternate solution which we might use. Let's try it, and that is sticking. I think a screen will do it pretty effectively. Reset it. It's already reset because we fixed that the other day. Do I want tape. I can't remember what the right parameters are for this, but I'll try it. Yeah, so a little bit of distortion, what it does if you're clipping, it will basically take those clips and flip them around and turn it into distortion, which, you know, can be a nice sound. So we will use that. I like that, like nice shimmering up at the high end. It's quite nice. I think after this I'm going to save this patch because it's pretty good. We might use it one time. See what it sounds like without effects. I mean, a little weak, but it's also usable. You know, you turn the effects back on or add them when you want it for a specific track. Okay, here's a little bit of a hole. Excuse the truck driving past, but the mod wheel doesn't do anything up at the high end because we're obviously mixing towards oscillator 2 on the high end. So what can we do with that at the high end? I think it's got to be one of these. So let's maybe it's got to be the shape, I think, as well. I thought it made a really cool sound, but it turns out it was the truck outside. Oh well, all right, that does nothing. I think we'll just call it. You know, if you want something on the mod wheel, it's going to be the bass only, but that's fine. Nope. I mean, a little bit of it's actually not too bad. Let's stick it in. I need to stop fiddling. Alright, I think we'll call that done. Alright, I'm going to end the stream there and I'll save it off stream. So thanks everyone for watching and we'll see you next time. If I can find OBS. Alright, thank you.